Hello everyone, this is Sherelle from Enchantment in Greencastle, Eleuthera in the Bahamas, and I am doing a bit of a progress report for my business. Just to give a little bit of background, I started seeking funding for my business at the end of 2018. And at the time, that was the beginning of when funding for small businesses actually became a thing in the Bahamas. First time it was advertised in a big way. So I jumped on that bandwagon and I did 3 required courses for funding. And I applied one time for another funding grant that did not require a course to be taken beforehand. But with the 4 applications I've made for business funding, I have yet in 2026, I have yet to receive any grant or funding for my business. Now, in these cases, I am aware of all of the background issues as to why I did not receive funding. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but in the process of writing business plans to receive funding, I was able to get quite a bit accomplished. Now, one of the main issues that I have with funding that is available and granted in the Bahamas is that for the most part, business owners are given $5,000 in grant funding. And honestly, $5,000 does not do much for a business. I feel that if grants were given to less business owners of bigger amounts, that it will actually affect some sort of change in the success of these businesses. Between 2018 and now, there have been thousands of business owners that have been given grants, small grants, and have been given one of these what they call guaranteed loan programs, which means that you would get a grant that comes with an equal amount of loan funding. And a lot of the businesses that have been given grants have failed. And part of the reason, I think, is that you really don't do much with $5,000 in business. That amount of money would basically just hype you up to say, yeah, you could do this. And a year later, you failed because that's not a lot of money. But in doing my business plan, I had focused for a couple of the plans on jewelry, my writing and publishing books, and ornaments. So my focus was geared towards a typical cruise port, either at a cruise port or being one of the inland stops for cruise passengers. And like I said, funding has never been granted for that. I still have quite a bit of items in my Amazon cart that I am going to have to purchase out of pocket. But what is on this table is about for what I have to complete, it's 3 times as much as what you see on the table, because my aim was to complete all of my work so that when the season for a cruise port started, I will have sourced and completed all of my work, and I would just have to focus on selling and replenishing. But my business goal is to only use raw materials. So when you're using raw materials that have been sourced from the sea and from the land, you don't want to oversource. You want to be very cognizant of how much you collect when you collect it. So I knew from the get-go that I would have to have these items sourced and readily available. I have been shelling and collecting beach treasures since 2011. So I had quite a bit of shells and raw materials already collected. When it came to funding, I knew that I had to continue to source, but my business biggest expense would be the tools for assembling these jewelry pieces. That remains my biggest expense, and I've just, in small amounts, started to collect my tools. I have no intentions of using beads or any imported materials. Everything, other than, of course, the jewelry fittings and the rope for the jewelry, whether I intend to use chains or different things like that. But the raw material itself is what would make up the pendants and would make up the bulk of the jewelry and ornaments. Over the years, I've collected quite a bit of sea fans. So these on screen are sea fans that I've cut into shapes. Now, some of these sea fans are going to be natural, and some are, I am waiting for the correct colors, because in my business, I have a couple of different color schemes. The Bahamian flag colors is one of them. So in addition to these sea fan necklaces, bracelets, and earrings being natural, some of them would be painted in the Bahamian flag colors. I have note cards here for what they will be. So the natural ones, we're looking for some aqua, we're looking for some gold. We have the black ones already here. Also, my business brand colors are pink and red paired together. So we have some lovely sea fans here that already been sprayed, and those are the pink and red. Got a lot more work to do on that. I also have my tulip foot. I did a video a while back about my tulip foot, and I will make sure to try and reference it. But these are my pink and red tulip foot earrings. These are some these are some Bahamian flag colored earrings. Not completed, of course. These are in stages of production, so we've got a lot of work left to do with this. And like I said, when I'm finished all of my pendants, it would be 3 times more than what is on this table, because my goal is to complete an entire year's work of having jewelry done, having ornaments done, and having my books. So a complete year's work. I have a retail value amount in my business plan of what that should look like. We have some natural tulips here. These are going to remain natural. And I had a conch shell artist carve pendants for me. Now, all of the pendants, there's still some in bags here, but all of the pendants have been made from broken shells. I really don't like the idea of taking whole beautiful shells, cracking them up, and using them for pendants. Of course, unless it's like the conch shell, the queen conch shell, which is left on the beach and discarded anyway. So yeah, taking those and cutting those up, smashing those up for jewelry is giving it new life. But especially for the tulip shells, where people tend to get them, break them up to make pendants, I think that is such a shame, because there are so many beautiful broken shell pieces that you can find on the beaches. So I had an artist use the conch shell pieces to make me some pendants. I have the hibiscus, I have the pineapple. Eleuthera symbol is the pineapple. And I have just some circular disc. So that's with the queen conch shell. And then there's a lot of tulip shells. I still have them here in bags, but I had an artist in Nassau carve and drill holes in, we have about 200 pieces here for pendants. So I still need some pendants in conch shell and tulips. So again, working on it. I'm not sure how long this process will take. I'm not setting a deadline because again, I am working out of pocket, but I hope to have a collection completed on the shelves, and at the end of the day, I want it to be a jewelry line that can consistently, year after year, be able to sustain itself with raw materials collected on the island. I don't intend to do any more as far as mass producing. It has to be something that is sustainable. All of the sea fans that I've collected, they are long dead. These sea fans have been dug up under a ton of seaweed, and they're all dead. There is nothing that is collected that has been harvested live. Seeds have dropped to the ground. I have a lot of jacaranda and all sorts of different pods that are yet to be completed and yet to even start on. But so far, this is what we have. These are for the Bahamian flag inspired pieces. And again, I love the pieces. I love working with them. But I want to source, collect, sell in a way that is sustainable. I don't intend to rape the sea or rape the trees of these products. That's not sustainable. So if you are interested, just please follow along with the channel and continue to watch and see what we're doing. You can please like, comment, share, subscribe, all of those things that make YouTube a good business move, because my YouTube channel is strictly to promote my business. So any support that you give, you are indeed supporting my business. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon at Enchantment in Greencastle, Eleuthera.